I love waiting for Google to load. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new piece of content. I wanted to, utilize this time that we have now, that we've been given by the terrible scenario which we have in 2020. I'm not going to get into whether lockdowns are good or a bad thing. I'm going to let the other news organizations of the world talk about that. But what we are going to be talking about today is very exciting, is very, very good, is how you as a business owner can utilize this time to start creating some brand related content that's going to help really connect with your audience and with those clients and those customers that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see because we have to stay at home to stop the spread of the virus. Now, I don't want this to become a political debate on the virus specifically. Let's keep it civil in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for coming back. Let's jump right in to how and some of the tips that I'm going to be going over in this video about how you actually can start using your mobile phone to actually create that piece and those pieces of value content or pieces of content that are valuable to your audience. So firstly, let's talk about why video. Specifically, because video itself is a really powerful tool to utilize to tell a story. Now, you may be thinking, how does this relate to my business? How does me telling a story really articulate and really help my customer audience to understand why they should come to me and why they should shop with me for this Christmas, for example? Now, a common trend which I've seen as I've grown in business and I've talked to more business people is people like to buy from people who they trust. Now, in a pre-COVID world, we would discuss and we would meet those people from things like networking events and meet and greets, really those scenarios where you would just meet someone just to get to know them and to really test the water. Now, how can video give you that access now? Well, people are going to be consuming content a lot more as they're more home and they will have more distractions and they'll have more time available because they may have been unfortunately made redundant from their job, or maybe the workload is less because they are home. So they're going to have some more time on their hands to be able to consume content. Now, what you should be looking to do as a business owner is create content that can really relate and really, really help your audience or your potential customers or your potential clients really understand why they should shop with you this Christmas, or why they should support you, and who you really are and what your values are and what your brand values are and what your service actually is. Because no matter how good your service actually is, if you don't know how to specifically talk about it and articulate it, then no one's going to buy from you because no one knows that you exist. And you can have the best product in the world, but, for example, if you were buying something like Coca-Cola or etc., you only know about Coca-Cola because there's been pieces of content going out talking about Coca-Cola and what Coca-Cola is. And the same is true if you run any business. So during this time, you should be utilizing it as times where you maybe can't do direct sale conversations. But here's where you can start using video content. And this is how I hope this piece of content is going to help you truly understand, firstly, why you should create video content, but also how you can actually create that video content just by using something simple like your mobile phone. Now, the main thing, which is the main hurdles, and we'll be going over those in just a moment, is that people don't necessarily understand that it's more about people connect with people and people are going to buy from people. Going back to that trust thing that we were talking about a second ago, the trust of thing, the way we trust people and the way we articulate ourselves to our potential customers or to our potential clients is really important for them to understand our values and understand why our brand is important to them and their lives, and how we affiliate that. And because a lot of our clothing and the things we choose to spend our money on says a lot about ourselves. And in that, you want to, as a business owner, articulate what your views are and how your service is valuable to your end consumer. Because at the end of the day, the end consumer is the only person who matters, or the customer is always right, depending on, the terminology in which you want to go over that. But it's mainly just one of those things where you need to help your customer understand how having flowers in their house is going to be great if you're a florist, for example, or having a piece of custom made jewelry is great, or why having some specific, like, really, really beautiful things at Christmas, or baubles, or decorations to your house is really important. And you understand how to articulate why the people should come to you and buy from you, and how they can do that and feel safe, especially now more than ever. So there's many, many different ways, and I'm going to be doing through this lockdown period and through the continuation of content, I'm going to be talking about some of the strategies and some of the things which you can actually do to help your customers or your clients understand what measures you are doing and what things you're doing that you may have not have necessarily thought of, how best is to articulate those to make sure that you can still trade safely and everyone is happy and feels comfortable to spend money with you this Christmas, or whatever it may be, or even after Christmas if you're watching this video a little bit after when it comes out. But moving back to trust again, we trust people. Now, if you don't know the person that's connected to the brand, whether that's their name, how they look, how they sound, how they feel, and how they have opinions on specific things, you're not necessarily going to be able to connect with that person in the right way. So by producing video content, even if it's just something simple like you creating a piece of story content to say good morning, or this is what I'm working on today, or this is the products, or this is the things that, did you know that we offer this, or did you know that we will give you a free clean with every ring when you buy one, for example, if you're a jeweler, because I imagine many people want to keep their jewelry nice and clean and nice and shiny, so that when they do go back to, when we are able to go and see our family at Christmas, we have lovely shiny jewelry, for example. So affiliating and putting some people buy from people. The more you can put your face out there and talk about what you do, the more people are then going to know about it. So then you'll be in the forefront of their mind when, say, for example, someone says, oh, I'd love to make a video about this, or do you know anyone who creates video? Hopefully, by you consuming this content and consuming some of the other bits of content I have going live at the moment, you will understand that I may be the go-to person for your business, and I am the go-to person because I obviously create video because of the amount of videos that I have. But you also will hopefully understand who I am a bit more because of my personality on camera, because of the things I share, and the value I try to add to you, the end consumer of my content. That's what's important to me. I'm never here trying to sell you something. If that ends up in me working with someone, great, fabulous. I hope that's valuable, and it will be valuable for the right people. Doing video and some of the tips I'm about to go over are really, really important for you to start creating video, because the sooner you start creating video, the times and the reputation and everything that comes with having a backbone of great, valuable content for your end consumer is going to allow you to scale into the future, but is also going to allow you to scale through a lockdown situation or a recession or something where it's hard and people are only going to buy from people that they fully trust and fully respect in regards to whatever that product may be or whatever that service may be. So listen to these tips and take them on board, and then let me know in the comment section down below if there's anything else that I haven't covered in this video, because I would love to kind of create a little community here of business owners and people who really are, finding it really hard right now. This year's been very, very challenging for everyone, and I'm here and I want to be here to help you actually add value to your customers, and so that you can eventually then, at the end of the day, make more money, because that's what everyone is looking to do, or make money or make funding. And the thing that a lot of people don't do is they don't necessarily talk about that when they need to make money or when their business is in trouble. Because if you're in business, you need to make money to survive, right? This is your livelihood. This is the thing that keeps a roof over your head. This is the thing that allows you to put food on your family's table. So be honest with that. Say, here's why, but also go about it in a way where it's not a hard sell approach, because a hard sell approach is something that anyone who starts out in business will understand, and anyone who's actually been in business, a couple of months, couple of years, couple of weeks, will know that hard selling doesn't necessarily work. They haven't built that relationship enough. They haven't warmed to having that relationship and building that trust that we talked about at the start of this video. First, and I would say probably the most important tip that I'm going to talk about in this video is very, very simple. Because a lot of people say, oh, lots of people tell me I should be doing video. And a lot of people say, oh, I should be doing video and this and that. If you own a smartphone, you can do video, right? If you own a way to film yourself talking, then you can do video. So stop overthinking the fact that you are going to create a video or going to start creating video content, and start creating the video content. Now, what normally comes from this is people get really worried and really concerned about how they're going to come over on camera, or how their energy, or how whether they're going to mess up, whether they're going to and and so on. And there is strategies you can use to help your persona on camera improve. But the first thing that you need to do before you can look at any of that, and how to optimize the content you're creating, and how to create content that's extremely valuable to your end consumer, you have to just do it. Because once you start creating, you'll then understand, and you'll then start to get more confident on camera, and it will slowly but steadily build your confidence up. So the first tip is, don't overthink, just act, just do it. Just start creating live content, just start creating content as a video form that connects with your audience. So the first thing that I would suggest if you're gonna go and start creating content is create 10 to 20 videos, and they can be short 1-minute pieces of you just talking to your phone. So just grab your phone and just start talking to it, like, oh, hi phone, how are you doing, like, etc. And just build up that confidence to be able to be okay with the fact that you're going to talk to yourself and to your device. Now, you're not talking to yourself. What you're talking to is your potential customer, is your potential audience. The way you have to think about it is, imagine you are talking or saying why someone should come to your business, or why you started your business, or etc. And we'll get into some of the things you should be creating content at the start about as well in the following tips. But just imagine you're having a conversation with a friend of yours down the pub, or on the phone, or you're just catching up with a friend. Just imagine that your phone is that person. And try to make eye contact with the lens. It's the most important way, because when someone is then going to consume that content, they connect with the person if their eye contact is with the lens. So what you have to think about it is, I'm having a conversation with a camera at the moment, and I'm trying to make as much eye contact with that camera as possible so I can connect to my end consumer. Now, of course, I'm going quite quickly here, and I am going to cover a lot in this video, but that's only because I value your time. I want to make sure that it's valuable as much as possible. But if you do need to rewatch this video, feel free. And if you go down on YouTube at the very bottom of the cog wheel, you can also play this video a little bit slower if you need to as well. Okay, so when you are good and you feel a little bit more confident and a little bit more ready to really create this great piece of content that you're going to create, and you're going to talk about your business, just simply have a conversation. Just start the conversation as you would do, as I was previously saying, as you would with a friend of yours. But and the main topics I would recommend you start with is going to be, how did you start in business? Why did you start in business? Some of these questions are really, really important to start building trust and really understand from a consumer's perspective who you are as a as a business owner, right? What do you stand for? What is your service? How is your service valuable? And the thing is, people really, really want to hear about the stories and the values and why you do it. So the reason why you're in business. Why did you get started? Go back to your roots. In the first years, I for example, if you're a jewelry maker, I started creating jewelry because I didn't see any jewelry makers creating what I wanted to create, and I felt that that's something I was really interested in, and something I'm really passionate about, and something I love to do. Or if you're a videographer, why did you start creating videos? I personally started creating videos because I love telling stories, and I want to tell stories, and I've told stories my entire life. So this is the best medium for me to be able to tell you my story, or in some cases my clients' stories, or whoever I'm working with stories. Because it's really important. And especially now, we connect with emotional driven stories. We connect with emotion. We want to care about people. We want to, especially as we can't physically connect, we want to understand and have that connection with people more, and build that trust with your client base, or with your customer base, or with your audience. It's going to be very, very similar to about just act and just do it. There's going to be a point where you've done probably 10 to 15 videos, and you should just start posting them, because in reality, the majority of people who are going to see that content at the start anyway are either going to be your family and friends, or they're going to be people who already trust you and already like you. So you're in quite a safe situation where you cannot do the best video, because it's not going to be something which is specifically going to get teared apart, because you're not going to get, those people aren't going to exist within that community yet. Those people, and the idea of starting content is very simple, because once you start, you then get more ideas on how else you could utilize content, and you never know, you might even start enjoying video creation, or you might see it as something which is very, very valuable to your end consumer. And I think as you do it longer, it's always a long-term game with video, but as you do that, you'll understand that people will watch. People that, just because they don't comment, just because they don't like, just because they don't interact with you, you will gain a small fan base at the start that will be very loyal to you, and will, especially if you're adding value. It's the only thing. If you're adding entertainment value, or whether that's educational value, or both, then creating that content and putting it out in the world, you're never going to know if it's going to, actually flourish into something if you don't just post it. So this tip is very, very simple. Just post the content. When you get to a point where you feel you're a little bit more comfortable. Now, again, you're never going to feel 100%. I still don't feel that this video is going to be 100% perfect, but I'm still going to post it because it may be valuable to someone, or it may be something which gets a lot of traction just because of the topics which are discussed. It's not up to you whether something is valuable. It's up to the end consumer. Again, the end consumer is the person that you need to think about, and the person you should be acting upon, because at the end of the day, they're the people who are going to possibly pay you for your service or product. So put them at the forefront of what you do. And if you creating a video talking about why you do what you do is entertaining or valuable to your end consumer, then it's worth you doing, and worth you spending this extra time doing that we all now have because of lockdown. And whether you are either in work or out of work, or you have to work at home or don't know how to work at home, the reality of the fact is we are going to have a bit more time, right? And some people will have even more time. So why won't you use this time as productively as you possibly can to allow you to then come out of lockdown stronger as a business than you did when you went in? Once you've done this and you have started that conversation about your business and brand, there may be questions that you get every single day. This is going to be the next tip in this video, and it's going to be really, really great because it's going to allow you to understand the need of your customers, understand the need of your clients, understand the need of your audience, and simply answer those. So I get this question all the time, hence why this video is being created in the first place. How do you get started in a video? How would you get started in a video? I really want to do video, but I feel overwhelmed. I don't know how to start. And I am going to be doing some other videos on how you can utilize your phone in a very simple way, and just to help you and help you really understand that video isn't this unobtainable thing that you can't do just because you don't have professional equipment, or professional microphone, or professional this, or professional lighting. Of course those things help. Of course those things allow it to look and sound better. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do video just because you only have a phone. There's stories which you will want to say, and you should say, and you will be intrigued to say, and people will be interested to hear, that you can do through video just by talking to your phone. So just do it. Just do it. And if you're going to take anything from the video before I go onto the bonus tip, and before we wrap up this video, because I don't want this video to take too long, because I value your time and I want you to get as much value from this video as humanly possible. But just before, if you're going to take one thing from this video, then make sure just to do it. If you've ever wanted to do video, now is the time to do it. Don't wait, because if you don't do it, one of your competitors will do it, and then you're going to be playing catch up, and no business owner ever wants to be playing catch up. So please, thank you so much for watching. And for the bonus tip in this video, one of the best things that I've found as a return on investment of time for any business to utilize, especially now, is going to be to utilize story content. Now, specifically, you can do this on LinkedIn, you can do this on Instagram. Now, LinkedIn has just launched stories, so it would be great if you guys would from a professional network perspective, jump on that. It'd be great to see and great to have happen, because it's going to be a new thing that LinkedIn as a platform is going to want to push. Now, the question which I get all the time about stories is, yes, that's great. Yes, I should be on it, and yes, I should do it. And there's strategies that I'll be doing a separate video on that you can really utilize stories a lot more. But the one thing which a lot of people don't necessarily get is, how do I create story content? I don't necessarily feel comfortable with, saying good morning every morning, but you don't necessarily have to say it like, say it. Why don't you take a picture of your laptop screen, of your desk, of where you may be working that day, and just write on it, good morning guys, how are you doing? And what you'll see is happens, if you do this across a week, or you do this across a month, what you'll get to happen is you'll get maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. It will slowly trickle into you having conversations with your client base, or with your audience, or with your potential customers, or with your, potentially returning customers. And what it will allow you to do is slowly build up that trust and get them to know you better, but also for you to get to know them better, which is very, very good, because if you know what their needs and their wants are, then and you can then be a solution for that, they're then going to come to you, because again, you're going to be, if you're obtainable and if you can be talked to and etc., then you're going to be in the forefront of their mind as well when it comes to, so for example, you sell cooking, pots, pans, knives, etc. If you are constantly talking about, oh wow, I got this new product in, it's really great, it does this, it does this, it does this, and then you attach a face to that to really talk about why and show in your own kitchen, oh, I'm using this because, and this is the reason, etc. And then people will get to know you, but also get to know your products, and then they can see how it's going to help them in their life, and how and why they should potentially buy one of your products. It'd be the same true if you're a jewelry designer. How are they going to want to know or know about the designs you could create for them if you don't show them work that you have already been doing or have done, or if you do anything? So just take this as an example and just start small, but actually start doing it, and don't overthink what you're doing. So hopefully this video did help you understand how to create and start creating videos, and with the tools that you already have. Of course, there will be other videos that I will be doing to help you truly understand from a technical perspective, but also from just a slight improvement perspective. And it doesn't actually take a lot to up a lot of quality. It's more the knowledge that you know and how you come across on camera that actually matters. Most people don't necessarily care as much about how it looks. As long as it sounds okay and you articulate your messages correctly, then most people aren't necessarily going to care as much. The only time where this is not true is if you're a videographer, but then that's your product and service, so it should be slightly higher quality. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you did enjoy it and you did take some value from it as well. As I said earlier in the video, I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section down below. If you do have any other struggles or any other worries about creating video content during this time, then feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you think. I would love to be able to create some content that's going to be meaningful to you, and I'll see you next time. If you are new to this channel and you would like not to miss more videos like this that talk about how to video to conserve your business and how content is really, really great to allow you to scale your business, especially through challenging times like we're in right now, then please do subscribe. It's free. And I thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very, very soon. And yeah, have a good week. I'll see you soon.